Hi, this is Adam Lawrence with Process Improvement Partners. I want to share with you a story about a team that was open to changing their processes, and as a result, they experienced an incredible outcome. So let's dive right in. I call this story Overcoming Resistance to Change, and here's why. Earlier this year, I was asked to help a leading consumer goods manufacturer in central Pennsylvania reduce changeover time on one of their key operating lines. So, with the help of the leadership team, we designed a 5-day changeover reduction event. And on the first day, we had the team identify issues that were making the changeovers less safe and less productive than they wanted. As time wore on, the team had implemented a bunch of really great improvements. And by the third day, the team had actually reduced the time in half from about 2 hours to about 1 hour. But we knew that our team, with all their improvements, knew what they wanted to do, and the ultimate test would be to share the new ideas with a new team that was unfamiliar with what we were doing. So early afternoon of day 4, I sent each of our team members out to a corresponding crew member to spend some time explaining the changes we had made, what they were, how they were supposed to work, and why we did it that way. About an hour or so into that discussion, one of the team members, let's call her Julia, came back into the meeting room to find me. She looked pretty upset. She said, "Adam, I'm having a lot of trouble with one of the crew members. He really doesn't even want to listen to anything I'm telling him. Can you come out and help?" So, pretty familiar with this situation, I came out and I found a crew member that looked really angry, and he was not happy to see me. So, I introduced myself and I found out his name was Roy. And Roy was very unhappy because it seemed to him that no one was listening to his crew and how they did changeover. So I tried to explain to Roy that our team had observed a bunch of changeovers and represented all the crews, and we were trying to make the safest, most productive changeover procedure that we could. Roy was not listening to this, and he was getting more and more angry. And he kept saying, we weren't listening, they didn't give us input, we didn't take their input, why should he do it our way? Eventually what I realized was Roy was not going to agree to even try, and all we wanted to do was have him try, as I explained to him, and let us know what didn't you like and what did you like. But as things escalated, I knew that I wasn't getting through to him. So finally I said to Roy, "Are you saying to me, Roy, that you're unwilling to try our new method?" At that moment the light bulb clicked on. Roy knew that I was asking him if he was going to be insubordinate, which is a disciplined offense in most factories around the world. Roy realized this and said, "No, I didn't say I wouldn't. I just said I didn't like it." I said, "Well, I appreciate you trying and thank you. We're going to get the whole crew together and we're going to try this new method soon. So thank you for doing that. Let Julia explain the rest of it to you." And he agreed. About an hour later, we gathered the entire crew. It was about 4:30 in the evening, and we got them together, thanked them, and told them that we would try our new changeover as soon as they were ready, and each of our team members would shadow them just to make sure that they didn't forget any of these new steps. They all agreed that they would try it, and we set off to start the changeover. About 3 minutes in, I noticed one of the other crew members, let's call him Ralph, looked a little uncomfortable. I looked at Ralph and I said, "Your crew member isn't doing the changeover procedure, is he?" And he said, "No, he's really not." So I went to the team leader and we agreed. We stopped the changeover. We gathered the crew and said, "Look, you have to try it the new way or we'll never find out what's good and what's bad. So switch the line back to the beginning and then we'll start again when you're ready." They all agreed. They looked a little unhappy, but they did do it. And on the second attempt, about 2 minutes in, a different team member came to me and said, "They're still not doing it right." So once again, we stopped the changeover, made them start from the beginning. And on the third try, they agreed they'd do it. We weren't sure they would, but they actually did. And 65 minutes later, it was over. And we agreed we would bring them back to the meeting room for feedback. So we did. Wasn't sure what we were going to get, but I brought in a flip chart and gave them all pens and Post-it notes and let them write what they liked and what they didn't like about the changeover. So Roy happened to be first, and I was ready for him to tell us all the things he hated. The first 4 Post-it notes that Roy wrote were things that he loved about the new changeover. The 5th one he wrote was some constructive feedback about how to improve the changeover even more. As we went around the room, everybody else had their say, and most things were quite positive. So at the very end, we thanked the team, and our team reviewed the feedback and was amazed at how positive the other crew was. And from then on, we knew we had done the right thing. I hope this story provided you with some inspiration to revisit your own processes. I have a lot more I'd like to share. Head over to pi-partners.com to learn how I can help. And check back from time to time for more Kaizen stories.